Can you be a gamer and a minimalist at the same time? It's hard, right? You were brought up with games while you were a child, and even as of today, it's much of a hobby as it is to gaming. Maybe you're having a hard time letting go, and why it's so hard for you to let go of these things in your life. Hi, I'm Jer, one half of the Ginger Gaming Duel, and today I'm going to be talking about why it's so difficult to be a gamer and a minimalist at the same time. We're also going to be diving into my childhood and how I was affected personally with this issue. If you like topics like this, hit that like and subscribe button down below. We've actually reached up to 1K now, so thank y'all so much for the love and support and watching all our videos as of today. It really means a lot. And full disclaimer, I am not a therapist by any means. These videos are a way for me to talk about my opinions and my opinions alone. Please consult a therapist if you need to discuss further about any issues that you are currently dealing with as well. And stick to the end of the video because I'm going to be talking about a few things that can help you relieve that stress from letting go of a lot of your games and collectibles. Hopefully it's a great start for your journey of life. With that being said, let's get right into it. Game collecting is a hobby. It's almost like a library of books, and you love seeing the pristine collection of things you have as almost as a sense of trophies in your room. You could say you might want to be a completionist. A lot of people like to challenge themselves and make achievements. To many, a lot of this is a fun thing, and that's perfectly fine. A lot of these video game characters just bring back so much nostalgia. Who can say no to the upcoming releases like Mario or Zelda? Then they're just not regular physical games that are coming out, but also special editions. You also have controllers, accessories, multiple consoles. You might have boxes that you don't even want to throw away. But let's not forget about the pop figures, the amiibos, action figures, special edition limited figures, the trading cards like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And let's be honest, we live in a life of consumerism and things are just being advertised everywhere. You know, from the latest games to the latest books to the latest collectibles, you name it, everything's always advertised. Chiara Timpano, professor of psychology from the University of Miami, says that we know our lives are inextricably entangled with things, and earliest archaeologists records who that ownerships of objects is a universal phenomenon that has existed across time, culture, and people. So of course this is not foreign to anyone. You know, we have museums that have restored or stole away precious things or are currently being researched. So it's inevitable that when we find something that's rare or unique in our minds, we want to keep it. But I was reading a short article by PsychReg on psychology of letting go, and even though it's not related to video games, there was one point that actually stuck with me, and it said that you are afraid of change. When I was a kid, my parents didn't have a lot of things for me back in the day. So when they did buy me a video game, it was usually every 6 months to a year because it was either for a good report card or for a special occasion like my birthday. And as my parents and a lot of my family lines were slight hoarders, I saw this as a big deal for my immigrant mother, especially as they wanted to keep everything because they didn't have a lot of resources when they were children. And speaking of change, my parents always kept the same job and never really excelled or asked for more. My parents always told me to go to college, find a nice job, retire after 55 years old, and just be comfortable with where you're at. And there was no growth. And this was the same concept I had for gaming as a child. I would keep all the games because I would just cherish those games that my parents bought because they used their hard-earned money and I was comfortable having it there. As I got older, I kept a lot of these things to myself, and I had a small hoarding obsession because this mentality was instilled in my brain. I was at the point where my parents were getting evicted from their home due to some very unfortunate circumstances, and letting go of these things were immensely hard. Giving away things like a Nintendo system and a lot of these things from my childhood could not be more of a struggle, honestly, because these games and systems were part of me and my identity. I had to keep defining that this system was a part of my life and my soul. And if I could let it go, then I can't be my own true self. Being put in a tough situation and having to condense when I really never got the chance to do so, I had to put my priorities on alert and give away so many of my games and my figures so I could reset and rebuild a better life for myself and my family at that time. But as I started playing video games as I've gotten older, I've asked myself, do I really need to play these video games anymore? Do I need to collect these collectibles anymore? And that's the hardest part, because the feeling of having something and having that you never know mentality is always obstructed me and a huge wall to have to climb over. There's always a huge FOMO of not knowing when you need to play this game again. Maybe you might want to play it with your friends. Maybe you want to share some sort of history with your child someday. And that vocabulary of you never know has really ingrained with me from my childhood because my parents always told me to never throw anything away away. I thought you never know was a reassurance, but it didn't give me confidence to throw anything away when I truly did not need it at that time. You know, I saw racism in the streets and being a victim of hate crimes, and my consumption of things started to become less and less because, yeah, I didn't want to have valuables being stolen from me because there were so many break-ins in the Bay Area. And yeah, we were robbed in our house actually. Unfortunately, we're both okay. I didn't want to hold on to those feelings with tangible items, and I started realizing that gaming and collectibles affected my paranoia for keeping them safe when I truly did not need them because our house was broken into. I started telling myself that the term "you never know" shouldn't be for physical items, but "you never know" should be leaned towards things I want to enjoy, like experiences and doing things with gens with the short amount of time that I have. So if you are in the mindset of wanting to let go of your things and being a little bit more of a minimalistic gamer, here are some of the steps that I think that could help you. Again, don't take these literally, just take them with a grain of salt. Letting go is not easy, and it's really not an easy thing to do. And there isn't really a manual script to tell you what you should or shouldn't keep. Yes, there is Marie Kondo's method of bringing joy to items, but you also have to be very realistic with yourself on how you approach on letting go and turning the minimalistic route as a gamer. First thing is to take time for yourself. I know it's hard, and I think many gamers, including myself, can sometimes be bad influences because you want to keep the games or collectibles like many of us, and it's hard to let go. Give yourself some time to think, even for like 3 to 5 minutes. No distractions. Ask yourself the questions of why you want to do what you're doing and start getting into this minimalistic gamer mindset. There are so many paths of why you want to do things, but if you break it down to 2 to 3 points and just write them down on a notepad, sometimes writing things on paper really does wonders, even more so than the screens. It's a firm point to action and really holds you accountable for what you want to do these things for your own good. The second thing is to look at a small amount of collectibles and games and tell yourself about 5 seconds each, do I need it or not? It's as simple as that, but it's really not that simple at the same time. The last thing you want to do is you constantly question if I have thrown this away, and it's a very common thing, especially for my mom, to make excuses that they will never need it, even though she doesn't use it for like the next 3 years.
I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. I need it!
Now, I know some of it won't be easy, and that's okay. Like, some games will take longer, and if you see a game you don't see yourself playing in any near future, or it doesn't have like a big moment in the game that you truly want to keep for yourself, then I think it gives you validation to put it on the discard pile. Now, even for figures, do you see yourself displaying this, and does this make you truly happy? If you think that item really gives you some sort of purpose in your life, then all means, go for it. You can give yourself even a small limit, like 15 items, and just put it on a small pile. But that's only if you can really handle it. The last thing you want is to have it stored away and doing no maintenance on it and buying a storage unit where you never see your collectibles whatsoever. Reward yourself. Honestly, it's not easy feat being a minimalistic gamer. Letting go of games and things in general is just a really hard thing to do, including for myself. Whether it be a small ice cream or buying one game you truly see yourself playing long term, it will feel much more fulfilling after giving away tons of your games. And as a reward or buying less games, you're gonna really truly see the fruits of your labor, and it will be really worth your while with the time that you have. There's always a high to buy a game so quickly. As I always say, I have adult money and I could do whatever I want, but in all honesty, a lot of that money can go through experiences and things that I could do with Jen, or for you personally, if you have a partner, friends, or family that you want to do things together with, or even for yourself. Comment down below if you ever wanted to be a minimalistic gamer or how you feel about the subject overall. Thanks for watching the video, y'all. I know it's hard to be a minimalistic gamer, I'm not gonna lie. It's really hard to let go of things, but I'm hoping this video gave you some sort of clarity on how to manage it maybe a little bit more effectively, and that you're not alone, and that there are people out there to help you support that. If you like videos like this, again, hit that like and subscribe button. And if you like videos just in general, there's a video with Jen talking about cozy games on mobile, and there's also another video about why it's so difficult to play games with non-gamers. I'm Jer, and I hope you have a great rest of your day or night. Bye-bye, y'all.